When having a new child, it can be difficult to take as much time off as really needed for your child. New parents should be able to get more paid time off of work to spend at home with their child and getting used to the new lifestyle. The last thing on your mind should be worrying about how fast you need to go back to work. In some places in the US, some parents get as little as only about 2 weeks off, sometimes three. It's still not very much time to be spending with your child. It can also be hard to get the extra time off needed. A lot of companies that I've noticed, they don't always allow you to take your vacation time if you are willing to right after your parental leave. And when they do, it still may not be that much, or you may not be able to afford to take extra time off if it isn't paid. A lot of younger people that still haven't put a lot of time into the companies that they work for may not have acquired very much vacation time in order to spend at home with their new child. Therefore, money can be a huge worry when it comes to the parental leave. If they can't have to go right back to work simply because they can't afford to take that much off, that can be very tough on a new parent. And even if you did have the vacation, it takes away simply your vacations. It's nice to have those days for later on in the year when you decide either that you need to take a week off to go and spend some time with the family at the beach and just relax and enjoy yourself, maybe decompress, or even if it's something as serious as a family emergency. A lot of people will definitely need that time off as well as paid that they have acquired over the time they've been working with their company. It can also be very, very difficult to focus on your work if you don't have much time with your newborn. It can be very distracting to think about your newborn and your spouse or significant other at home. You may be worried what they're doing all day. You may be worried that you can't help your significant other that much. This can also stir up some tension at home. When you're at work all day, and especially if you're coming back from vacation, things can get busy and things can get exhausting and stressful. So when you go home, you may not be as fully engaged as you would normally be, maybe if you had a little extra time off. Uh, that can also be for your spouse or significant other that's home all day with the new child. It can be very stressful, it can be exhausting, and it can always lead right back to it once you get home. Tensions can get a little high if you're asking each other a little too much when you walk through the door. Not spending enough time with your newborn also can be significantly stressful. A lot of people are always constantly worrying about how their spouse and their child are doing when they're away. And not only that, it's when you are away from your child, that's all you're thinking about all day. And it can be kind of tough to maybe even see pictures of them having fun while you're at work. Um, Spending more time too with your newborn also has a huge imprint on how they may grow up in life. Spending more time with your family could help teach your new child lots of great values. Um, for example, when I was growing up, my parents were divorced, and I didn't spend much time with my parents. I was always in my room playing video games or hanging out with my friends. And although I'm not saying I didn't get any good values, but family orientation just wasn't always my thing, especially when I moved out to Germany with the military. Although I do love my family, I am not missing them all too much. Unlike my wife, who, since she was a child, it's very rare that the whole family didn't always hang out together whenever everyone was home. And it does show that her moving out here with me was very stressful at first. She missed her family. She still calls them almost every day, or as much as she can. And she is definitely a lot more oriented, and she does also try and spend as much time with me or her family whenever we do get a chance to see them. And they are some of the best friends as well. So, spending more time with your child and teaching them these values and teaching them that spending time with their family is a great thing. It can also influence them later on in life as they grow older and as they maybe even develop a family of their own. Is very, very helpful for them, especially when they always see mom and dad doing very well with each other. Then they kind of subconsciously pick that up, and they usually are more understanding of certain situations. Time spent with your newborns at home should be equal for both men and women. Now, obviously, for feeding purposes and recovery purposes, usually the mom gets more time off work. Uh, a lot of mothers still don't get a whole lot of time that they should to stay at home with their child, but fathers play just that equal role in not only helping newborn, but also helping mom recover as well. And getting into a good routine to help them both adapt to the new lifestyle as well as yourself can be very, very important. When it comes to parental leave, the United States is one of the very few countries that don't always guarantee time off. There are lots of states that do try their best to make sure both sides, male and female, get anywhere between a couple, like 2 to 3 weeks off. However, that is nothing compared to some countries such as Vietnam or the United Kingdom. The United Kingdom, on average, they usually get about 40 weeks paid off of work. Now, they do have to go into work occasionally to check in and make sure that their skills aren't going out the window. However, it's not usually too demanding, and whenever they do stop in for short checkups, usually management and all the other coworkers are very understanding and very welcoming, especially when they do come back to work after their leave. Again, very welcoming, and they're always willing to help if they do need a little extra help to get back up to how they were before they left. Family time isn't just to help your children grow up with good values and to be more respectful. It's good for everybody in the family, especially if you have a bigger family. As parents, spending time with your child is one of the most important and best things you can do throughout your day. It can be sometimes stressful, but most of the time relaxful and peaceful. Nothing makes you more proud than to see your children growing up, doing good, and having fun with you as well. I don't quite have a child myself yet, but through examples of both my family and my wife's family, I can definitely see that spending more time with the family does increase relationships and does get everybody else on better terms. Usually, when some are mad at others, it's not for too long. So, again, both the man and the woman should get equal and more time off work paid with a guaranteed job back.